Hello, good day, ma'am and classmates. My topic for today is about developing instructional plans for elementary science. Learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to first, unpack the standards in the curriculum guide. Second, determine the nature of the competences. Third, identify topic or content of instruction. The fourth, select assessment strategies. And last, fifth, plan learning experiences. So the curriculum guide serves as a teacher blueprint in planning and designing the curriculum. It should not be thought as it. It will be your job to interpret these standards using unpacking strategies. So unpacking means extracting the component, knowledge and skills required by standard in order to understand the learning expectations and clearly articulate those expectations to the students and the parents. Unpacking serves three purposes. So first, to establish focus of standards and competences. So this first unpacking purposes is very important to focus the standard and the competences. So second, to link standards, competences, and teaching. So it means okay. So the third, to contextualize teaching. The following are the steps you need to undertake when unpacking the elements of the curriculum guide in order to plan for the classroom instruction. So there are 7 steps you need to undertake when unpacking the elements of the curriculum guide. So first, analyze the standards. Second, read the competences or determine the target domain of the competences. Third, determine the nature of competences, which is the knowledge, skills, and values. The fourth, determine the target topic or content or the identified time allotment. The fifth is select assessment strategies. The sixth is the plan learning experiences. And the seventh, designing learning materials. So the first unpacking strategies involve analysis of the standards. Standards articulate when students should know, understand, and be able to do by the end of the year. And they set equitable benchmarks across the classrooms and schools. So the type of standard, first, the core learning area standard, which is this defines the broad outcomes for the K-12 science. So the learners demonstrate understanding of basic science concepts and application of the science inquiry skills. They exhibit scientific and values to solve problems critically, innovate beneficial products, protect the environment and conserve resources, enhance the integrity and wellness of people, make informed decisions, and engage in discussion of relevant that involves science, technology, and environment. So, the second of the standard is the case stage standard, which is define the specific outcomes for K stage, such as K to 3, grade 4 to 6, grade 7 to 10, and grade 11 to 12. So at the end of the grade 3, the learner should have acquired healthiness or healthful habits and have developed curiosity about self and their environment using basic process skills of observing, communicating, comparing, classifying, measuring, inferring, and predicting. This curiosity will help the learners value science as an important tool in helping them to continue to explore their natural and physical environment. This should also include developing scientific knowledge or concepts. So the third is the grade level standard. These define the specific outcomes for each grade level. Kindergarten, the learners will demonstrate an emerging understanding of the parts of their body and their general functions, plants, animals, and varied materials in their environment. Under observation, characteristics, general weather conditions, and how this influence what they wear. and other things is their environment. Understanding of their bodies and what is around them is acquired through exploration, questioning, and careful observation as they infer patterns, similarities, and differences that will allow there to make sound conclusions. So the fourth is the content standard. Defines what the students are expected to know, the knowledge, facts, and information, what they should be able to do, or the process or skills with what they know. So the meaning of our understanding that is construct or make us the process, the facts, and information. So the fifth is the performance standards. Defines the expected proficiency level, products, or performances as evidence that the students can transfer or use their learning in real life situation. Okay, so the second unpacking strategies to determine the target domain, the broad group of the topics in science. There are 5 domains of science indicated in the curriculum guide. So the domain or component, there are examples. The living things and their environment. So the code is the LT. The force, motion and energy. The code is FE. The earth and science. The code is ES. The matter. The code is MT. The examples. Competences. The domain. So the competences first is describe source of light and sounds, heat and electricity. So the domain is the earth and space. So the second is practice safety and precautionary measures in dealing with different types of weather. So the domain is the force, motion, and energy, or FE. So the third unpacking strategies involve determining the nature of competences, or the knowledge, skills, and values. The target of the competences science process skills and the values, development or right attitudes and values in science. So the target competences contains a specific topic or lesson. The first column of the guide, quarter or week or theme, provides due to topic. So the competences, the nature and the topic. So the competences is describes sources, all light and sounds, heat and electricity. So the nature is all about the knowledge. The topic is all about the energy or the light sound. The second is practice safety and precautionary measures in dealing with the different types of weather. So the nature is the skill. The topic is all the earth and space or the weather. The select assessment strategies. The most important principles to remember when selecting assessment, it is the coherence among the learning outcomes, assessment, and learning experiences in educational learning. So examples, time allotment, the competences, the nature, the topics, and the assessment strategies. So the time allotment is 2 weeks or weeks to 7 to 8. So the competences describe the sources of the light and sounds, the heat and electricity. So the nature is the knowledge. The topics is the energy, light, and sounds. Those assessment strategies is answering short response text on sources of light and sounds, heat and electricity. Then describing the sources of the light and sounds, heat and electricity indicated by the pictures prompt. So the second is 2 weeks, weeks to 7 to 8. So the competences is to practice safety and precautionary measures in dealing with the different types of weather. So the nature is the skill. The topics is earth and space or weather. So the assessment strategy is simulating the different weather condition and the right response or reaction to each weather condition in the classroom. So participating in an instructional department. Thought. So they have the planned learning experiences, the target competences, and the learning activities or experiences. So first, describe the sources of light, sounds, and heat and electricity. So the learning activities or experiences is interactive discussion on sources of light, sounds, heat, and electricity. So second, describe the sources of light, sounds, heat, and electricity, indicated the pictures prompts. Then the second target competence is to practice safety and precautionary measures and dealing with different types of weather. So the learning activities or expenses is viewing clips or lectures on safety and precautionary measures when dealing with the different types of weather. The second, simulating the different weather conditions and the right response or reaction to each weather condition in the classroom. The third is the participating of institutional or department drills. So the designing learning materials, the teacher should keep the following guidelines when designing learning materials for elementary science. So the first, the materials should be aligned with the content and performance standards in the curriculum guide. The second is the material should contain the activities that allow different forms of interaction among the students and between the teachers and the students. So the third is the activities should have a varied and may employ a combination of the following: the inquiry-oriented, the investigations, cooperative groups, and use of technology and simulations. So the fourth is the opportunities must be provided for the students to develop an understanding of scientific inquiry. So the fifth is there should be consistent with contemporary models of learning. Yes, that's correct. Then the sixth is assessment should stress the application of concept to new different situations. The seventh is the assessment task should be fair for all the students. Scoring guide or rubric should be included as well as a teacher. So I can give you the activity. So give them the correct answer. So there I have the choices. The core learning area standard, unpacking, the content standard, and then packing strategies and case standard. So this. So that is all. Thank you and God bless.